Hello, and welcome to week one of our May mini video series, Bloom Into You. This month is all about embracing your personal growth and blooming into your most authentic self. Today, we're starting at the roots with grounding. In times of change or emotional overwhelm, finding a steady foundation within yourself is so important. And who better to guide us through that than Dr. Michelle Greenwell, a resident Tai Chi and movement specialist? Welcome, Michelle.
Hello, good to see you, Michaela.
All right, so let's just jump in. So, Michelle, how can movement, especially slow, intentional practices like Tai Chi, help us feel more grounded and rooted in ourselves during times of change or emotional overwhelm?
So usually what people experience is as the anxiety starts to ramp up, it's like you go like this, you get lifted from the ground. And so that opportunity to do movement that brings you back to the ground is really important. And that happens as soon as all the joints open. And people don't really think about that because they don't realize how, as they're tightening up, how everything is closing, all the spaces are closing. And then as you start to move into those grounding activities, the joints all open. And
Hmm.
that's when the nervous system gets to do its calming, but you also have this connection to the ground.
Awesome, awesome. So, that's really helpful to know. Do you have any favorite movements or breath practice or anything like that that personally helps bring you back into your body when you're feeling unsteady?
Absolutely.
Would you mind
Absolutely.
sharing?
Every day, every day. And interesting too to keep in mind is that when the mind starts doing those games where it goes round and round and round with thoughts, or you start to go, I can't, time starts to race and you can't seem to get there, that's your signal. You've lost grounding. And going with grounding is centering, stability, gravity. So there's a whole bunch of reflexes that all go together. We don't think about that. And it's just so important that you come back to that space. So the ones that I like to do are foot sensors, and
Hmm.
that's rolling through the feet in different actions. And another one is Donyus, which comes from Tai Chi. And then
Hmm.
I have the feet first foot rub. And that actually is rubbing the gates, but then firing up all the muscles in the feet. And that just completely changes how your foot feels on the ground.
Right. Awesome. Well, obviously, it's probably going to be difficult to to demonstrate that, right now in video, unless you get your feet up there. But can you describe that for those that are watching? If they wanted to try one of those, is there a simple one that you can, kind of explain a little bit more in depth that they can try?
Absolutely, which is why I chose this room today
Okay.
instead of where you usually see me, because I can at least move back and then people get a chance to try. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to
Awesome.
slide back and I'm going to bring my chair. So one of the things that people don't think about is that their posture is grounding. And if they're sitting in their chair, leaning back, they have removed the connection to the floor. Your feet are on the floor, but it's no longer a straight connection of energizing. So it's about making sure that you're sitting straight. If you have a back on your chair, you're actually not using it. You're using your own volition. If you pull up on your ears, that'll tell you if you're straight and you have integrity. And now you're connected to the floor. Very simple. But then the next part is how can you engage with the floor? So that would be to turn the hands up, lift the arms, turn them over, bring them back. And as you do that, you can fall just very subtly into your feet and then push into your feet to come back. And right there, that connection that you make to the floor creates the space for you to realize that you do have feet and
Hmm.
that there's a ground, and then how the whole body connects to itself. So as we get anxious, we start to close things up, isolate things, and usually we're working with breath that's come up into the top of the chest. And this is a way for everything to go back down. And as I talked about opening those joints, the diaphragm will drop and the joints will open. And it's just
Mm.
really simple. And probably as you're watching me, you're also taking a deeper breath,
Yes,
right?
yes, I am.
And
Yes.
then all of a sudden, all the frazzle of the day,
Mm.
it just disappears. Very simple.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing this with us. Now, if someone wanted to watch some of the videos that you have, the move, well, I know you have videos of the movements that you recommend. So if they wanted to watch some of those videos, are those on your channel as well?
Yes. So if they go to at Michelle Greenwell on YouTube, the playlist where you're going to find the Donyus is the Tai Chi Wellness playlist. It'll be the very last one. And there's lots of different videos in there with grounding exercises. So they can look at the feet exercises in there. They can look at the hands only Donyus, and then they can expand the Donyus because there's more that you can do with them. And if they go to the dance playlist, dance integration playlist, there is a dance warm up. And in there is where they'll find the foot rub, and they'll be able to explore that. And if they go to the It's in the Cards playlist, they'll find the foot sensors. And that's foot sensors are one of my favorites because you can do that standing in a line at the grocery store, and you can do that while you're waiting for something to happen, the kettle to boil, cooking in the kitchen. You can just start moving your feet around in different patterns, and it's really quick.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, there you have it. So, is there anything that you would like to leave the audience with today about rooting and grounding, and being able to set themselves up for success for bloom throughout this season?
I've got two things. So another one would be when you're standing and you need to just find that grounding, just hit your heels together and then settle into your feet. And that will immediately bring you back to the ground. And if you do that while you're talking to someone who might be a little bit excited and they might be uprooting you, then you can actually do that and they'll also ground, which is great because then you're going to be supporting someone else. But the last part is I want to share the tea, Michaela,
Oh, please
because
do.
I've made some golden serenity. And golden serenity is actually for grounding. And I wanted to focus on black tea. So anybody who likes to drink tea, black tea will give you the nervous system coming into a calm if you don't add milk, and it'll open the mind. So those are two things that you need in order to be grounded. And the second part is turmeric. And
Mm.
turmeric is about prosperity and positive energy. And when we start to ramp up like this and leave the ground, we can't find that. So turmeric is a great way to bring yourself back in and hone in.
Awesome. Thank you. For those of you who are watching who have never seen one of our videos before, Michelle is also the owner of Cape Breton Tea Company, and she creates these awesome teas that have purpose and intention behind them. And so the tea she was mentioning is one of her own brands. I encourage you to check out her teas. I love her teas, and see if something appeals to you. So, as we wrap up this quick video, I just wanted to point out that grounding isn't just a mental practice, it is something that we can cultivate through the body. A simple, intentional movement, such as Tai Chi, can help us anchor into the present moment and feel steadier no matter what's swirling around us. So, thank you so much for Michelle for joining us today and sharing this insights with us. And we'll be back next week as we continue in our Bloom into You journey. And until then, remember, when you feel rooted in yourself, you create the strength to grow and bloom with ease. See you next time.
Take care.